Welcome to this Hotel Marketing Association video about the Hotel Marketing Awards. I'm Pamela Carvell, I'm Life President of the HMA, and I'm also the person responsible for coordinating the Hotel Marketing Awards each year. I'm joined today by Jamie McBride of ForSight, one of the sponsors of the awards. Welcome, Jamie.
Hi, Pamela.
Hi. Now, before we talk specifically about the awards, Jamie, perhaps you could tell us a little about ForSight for people who aren't familiar with them, and something about your role within the company, please.
Sure, no problem. ForSight, we are a provider of CRM and marketing software designed specifically for the hospitality industry. So we provide solutions that help hoteliers increase engagement with their guests, drive direct revenue through personalized marketing at scale. And that's done by bringing together all the different data points throughout the hotel's different technology systems into a single source of truth, allowing you to really personalize what you're sending to your guests, both pre-stay, post-stay, and throughout the whole journey. I've been with ForSight for over 3 years, and I'm the head of marketing. And my role mainly involves working with my team, who I have to give a shout out to say are very, very talented marketers, and with our partners such as the HMA, to increase awareness of how solutions like ours can actually help enhance the already great marketing that hotels are doing. So we very much see ourselves as adding additional value to the great work that these professionals are already doing. Brilliant.
And obviously you sponsored the awards last year and you're sponsoring them again this year. Do you sponsor other awards as well as the HMA ones?
Well, actually, the Hotel Marketing Awards were actually the first awards we've ever sponsored as a business. And as you mentioned, this will be sort of our second year actually doing it. And currently, these are the only awards we do sponsor. We're quite selective in what we do, and they're fantastic and certainly a great fit for us as a business. Okay.
So what other factors influence you sponsoring our awards?
Well, the biggest influencing factor actually was the support that the HMA provides to the industry. It's fantastic, but the passion of both the members and the committee all massively influenced our decision to work with it. The committee and the HMA itself is just fantastic at keeping supporting the industry, keeping members engaged, and that's really what we wanted just to be a part of and help support. And as a business that provides a solution that is designed to enhance the marketing efforts for hotels, it was just a great fit for us. You know, it's great to be involved in recognizing some of the truly amazing and innovative efforts of the professionals in the industry. So that was really, really important to us.
Brilliant. That's fantastic to hear. Thank you. And obviously last year you were involved in the judging of the awards as well, because where we feel that we have the skill set within a sponsor to be involved in the judging, and that they don't have an interest in any of the entries, obviously, which is very, very important. The sponsors that have an interest in entries obviously can't get involved in the judging, but obviously you were able to last year, so you had access therefore to some of the entries in a couple of categories. If you could give 3 pieces of advice to entrants based on what you saw, what advice would you give them, please?
I think the first one would be to keep it simple, is just to get across the information you want to get across and keep it to the point. I think as well, make sure you're doing your creativity and innovation justice. Talk about how you came up with the idea, make sure that passion comes across. And it really did in a lot of the entries that we saw last year. And I think lastly is talk about results as well, whether that's sort of revenue, return on investment, or otherwise. Talk about the success. Don't be bashful about the successes, and also what you learned from it. What would you do different? What would you do if you had to do this again? How would you improve on that? Show a bit of learning as well.
That is fascinating, because yes, we're not, judges aren't looking for perfect entries. We're not looking for perfect marketing, because marketing isn't perfect, is it? Marketing is constantly evolving. So yes, I think that entries who are totally honest to say we may rerun a version of this campaign, but we might do this differently, or we had hoped for slightly different results or slightly better results, but this is what we took out from it. So I think that's interesting, because as you said earlier, these awards are about us recognizing the best marketing and the best talent. That's our sole reason for having the awards is that we want to offer that recognition to people that are doing great marketing, as you say.
Yeah.
And what sort of really stood out for you in terms of sort of positives that really stood out in the entries that you saw, and some negatives perhaps, please?
Certainly the positives. It was what really resonated with me was it's not, well, it goes without saying, it's not been an easy time of it for the industry, but the innovation, the absolute innovation and creativity on sometimes no budgets, on with really challenging restrictions changing all over, the innovation and creativity and the passion that was behind that really shone through. It was marvelous actually just to see that. It really was. In terms of negatives, I think one of the things, and this maybe touches back on to what I was saying about the results. In order to talk about the results, it would be great to have seen in some of the entries a little bit more about objective setting and making sure that, well, sorry, the best way that always comes into my mind with this is to show you're working. As my maths teacher used to say, it was show how you arrived at this. What was your planning? What were your objectives? What were your goals? How did you come up with those, your SMART objectives, to show why you did what you did, and then you can talk about the results in that. That would be something that would be lovely to see more of, because I have no doubt that people are doing that, but you need to tell the judges.
Yeah, and I think also, certainly from my perspective, sometimes people forget that the M in SMART stands for measurable, and therefore there's no point in saying you want to increase brand awareness, of your hotel by 3% if you have no way of actually measuring what the level of brand awareness is of your hotel. So
exactly,
and I think often we've seen entries where they've tried to do a good job of setting objectives that are quantifiable, but then they have no way of actually measuring
it.
And I think as marketing professionals, we're looking for that measurement, aren't we?
Absolutely. It's critical. It really is.
Yeah. And so obviously, if somebody is sitting there now planning or thinking of entering our awards, what advice would you give either to a hotel or to an agency? Because as you know, an agency can actually prepare the entry for a hotel or a group of hotels. So coming both from a sponsor and a judge's perspective, what would you say to them in terms of how they should do their entry, or what they will actually get out of entering as well? What's the benefit to them of entering?
Yeah. Well, I think the only way I can really put it is just go for it. Just do it, and it's very straightforward. It's not overly complicated. You don't need to actually be an HMA member to enter. Entry's free. The sponsors, the way that the HMA works with its sponsors means that there's no entry fees, which is fantastic. It's really worthwhile because we all work very hard. Marketing professionals work very hard, and entering that can serve a dual purpose, really. It gives you a chance to reflect on what you've done as well. It gives you a chance to actually put it all down, because sometimes until you actually have it down in that format, you might not actually be aware or cognizant of how much great work that you've actually put into this, because we're all very critical of ourselves. So actually having that all down, it can be really great to then share it with the team to talk about it. But also the recognition, it's sometimes the people actually producing all the marketing, we work in the shadows, we work in the background a lot of the time. So actually having that recognition and being able to stand forward, it's great for morale. It's great just to be able to actually publicize how much work is actually being done by some really talented people. So.
Yes, I think sometimes, as you say, I think especially as a lot of hotel marketing is aimed at very specific niche markets, and therefore we as the public don't see it. It's not like national TV ad campaigns where everybody's seen it, and therefore it's easy to overlook the sheer quality of marketing that's being done, because it is just done to specific target markets, and as you say, to therefore use our awards to showcase it and give recognition to a lot of the creativity, because I think One of the things also that makes the hotel industry so fascinating is that you do have so many market segments, and therefore niche markets within those market segments. And there's perhaps just one small marketing team doing the marketing for all of those different segments across all the different channels, and sometimes not taking time to pause and get some recognition for what a brilliant job they're actually doing.
Exactly. It's so important. And to be having say this is our second time sponsoring, and having been able to actually judge as well last year, it's great to see. And the panel of judges are all independent as well, so you're able to actually get recognition for your work from somebody who is removed as well, and it's from the wider industry. It's great. It's just do it, I think, is the only way I can really sum it up. It's like, you won't regret it. You won't regret it at all.
No.
Time well spent.
Yes, I mean, it's interesting what you say about the judges, because again, my toughest job as coordinator of the awards is recruiting the judging panels, because I have to have people who are independent, but that have the marketing knowledge and the industry knowledge, that therefore they have the respect and the knowledge, and are prepared to give up their time. Obviously, it's not exactly a 5-minute job to judge the entries. It is a serious responsibility, because it matters. The whole industry cares about it, and we want to. I think one thing we've always said is any winner, any of us should be able to say that is an example of truly great marketing. And something I'm not even sure if you're aware, there have been times when we haven't actually awarded a winner in a category, because the judges have said, okay, this is the best entry, but we really don't think it's an example of truly great marketing. Now, that has only happened probably twice in 27 years, so it's not very, very rare that happens, but that's how seriously the judges take that process of wanting to recognize truly great marketing. And I think you're right. That's what we've often seen from our awards is we're blown away by what people are doing. And even we as people in the industry may not have seen it, because it's aimed at a target market that we're not part of.
Exactly.
And it's sometimes wonderful to see. So anyway, look, I really appreciate your time, Jamie. And we appreciate you sponsoring so that we can continue to allow people to enter the awards without ever paying an entry fee, and that people don't need to be a member to enter the awards either. And again, can't thank you enough for your time in getting involved in the judging, because we love having people with your insight into the industry, being able to contribute to that whole process. So thank you. And I think therefore, to just end on what Jamie said several times, which is if you're thinking of entering the awards, there are so many positives. Even if you're shortlisted and don't even make it as winner, to get that recognition of being shortlisted is still well worth it. So to quote a very famous brand, guys, just do it. Thank you so much for your time, Jamie. I really appreciate it.
No problem. My pleasure, Pamela.